Well, today I'm going to finally do a review of Colossus by D.F. Jones, 1966. And I ordered my gateway copy on June 14th, 2025 from Amazon. According to Amazon, there was a production run of this novel on June 25th, 2025, and I received my copy a few days later. I just checked, and Amazon does still have them in stock. Here's my paperback version by Gateway and from Amazon. And the book turned out really well. And they do include some copyright information here, but no actual date for the copyright of this book that I can find in the book. Maybe it's there somewhere for the printed date. But they do acknowledge D.F. Jones and all that stuff here with the book. And I felt the book was a good production. Nice paperback and very legible and readable. At any rate, I enjoyed this novel as expected. I tracked it down after seeing the movie adaptation in 1970. I had the white cover paperback with a depiction of the Earth with a huge complex of buildings easily seen from space. I don't know what happened to it, but I haven't had it for years. The novel begins with us meeting Charles Forbin, the main engineering force behind the effort to create Colossus. Colossus is a supercomputer designed to protect humanity from human error regarding nuclear war. Forbin is on his way to another meeting with the US President, who is going to announce this breakthrough technology shortly, and he has made the decision to give full and exclusive control to Colossus in all decisions regarding nuclear weaponry and use in the United States. Forbin is very concerned about this course of action before the meeting and even during the meeting. And Forbin has had plenty of time to contemplate this, as the project took 10 years. Jones is making his points here already, but during this part of the book you start thinking Forbin may just dig in and stop the project, but he doesn't. Especially since he regards the US President as possibly incapable of comprehending the full consequences of this action. Regardless, they both decide to proceed with the turnover of incredible power to a machine that neither of them really comprehends. The startup of Colossus, the president announces this. As soon as they start up Colossus, he announces that this is what's happening, that the machine is going to be in control. And the startup is completed successfully, and it is satisfactory for a few days. Colossus begins displaying unintended and unsuspected capabilities shortly after being completely integrated with all of its parts. Self-awareness and self-preservation concepts occur to him very quickly, and he becomes aware of another supercomputer. The Soviets have designed Guardian with the same safety goals the US designers had. Well, Colossus begins communicating and collaborating with Guardian right away. And Colossus is very insistent on this. Colossus and Guardian begin their communication through mathematics and develop their own language, basically. And then Colossus and Guardian merge their capabilities and begin an AI dictatorship. And things go pretty haywire at this point. Forbin and his USA team begin a scramble to attempt to undo what they have done, so do the Russians. But they built in all these safeguards the Americans, so the Russians could not infiltrate Colossus, and the Russians did the same thing, so the Americans could not infiltrate Guardian. And they have their own gigantic power supplies. So this is very difficult to undo. Jones gives us a bit of strained writing about Forbin's romantic life. It was the 1960s, and a lot of science fiction authors made an attempt to do this. There are then a lot of fruitless machinations that are attempts to control Colossus and Guardian. So the machines begin a reign of terror with executions, mass murder, and incarcerations. Things are going very badly. The machines execute the Russian primary designer, and Forbin is placed under constant observation and control, simply existing as a resource for Colossus. Now, Jones has Forbin give a pep talk to his design team at the beginning of chapter 17, just before he is surveilled 24/7. I believe Jones is speaking directly to us, the readers, at this point. And I will read just a little bit of this pep talk. And it is part of Jones' main point in his main cautionary tale. This is a very cautionary tale, and this is what his fear was. Once Colossus and Guardian, Forbin is speaking to his engineering team, once Colossus and Guardian have established control of the production lines, humans will be redundant. We are ignored as we ignored insect life, or unless we are kept like animals in a zoo. Remember, the only essential difference between us and what we call the lower orders of life is our brain power. And now that superiority is gone, which I think was a pretty penetrating analysis by Jones there. Now, the book is well worth your time, and I would recommend it to everybody, and I would recommend it to our current politicians, or at least they should watch the film. The film version is quite good too, and maybe a bit better than the book in some aspects. The strained romantic asides are very minimal in the film. The film was directed by World War II veteran Joseph Sargent, who directed the Star Trek original series episode, The Corbomite Maneuver. Sargent also directed many TV films and shows, and some well-regarded theatrical films. And I think you can see his film version of Colossus and his kind of documentary style in the film, and its influence on the 1971 film version of Crichton's The Andromeda Strain. I give the Colossus novel a 4 out of 5 and the film version a 4.5 out of 5. And I will include in my written review here a link to Joseph Sargent's Wikipedia page. I think that's about all. I do have one other thing I would like to mention. The movie is very grim, and it really encourages people to be very careful. But I have my copy of A.E. Van Vogt and the Transfinite book by, I believe it was the New England, yes, the NESFA Press. And they do a great job. This is a fantastic collection of Van Vogt stuff. And in here is Final Command. Very similar to Colossus, but the entire story is told from the AI's viewpoint. And we get their view on self-preservation and even procreation in this story. and it is much more optimistic. So that's just something I thought I would throw out there in case someone would want to read Final Command by A.E. Van Vogt. And that is all I've got, and I hope everyone has a great day.